Hello friends and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy and I'm an ordained minister and we are in Bible study. We are in the King James Version of the Bible and we are in the Gospel according to St. Luke. We are in chapter 6 and we are finishing it up this video going from verses 39 to 49, which is almost entirely just the word of the Lord. There is one line, very first line, that is in black print in this book, and then it's just the numbers besides that to break up the sea of red. So let's jump in. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? No, they would just bump into everything. Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but every one that is perfect shall be as his master. If you want to be equal to the Messiah, you have to be perfect. Good luck. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, Brother, let me pull out the mote that is in thine eye, when thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, cast out first the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull the mote that is in thy brother's eye. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit. Something can be said of a good system. The good system has a way of uprooting the corruption where the bad fruit actually leaves. Neither doth a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. If upper is corrupt, lower will be corrupt. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. People don't go into thorns and brambles expecting to find figs and grapes. That's not where figs and grapes live. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good. An evil man out of his evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. So whatever the words are that you're using, like if you're roaming around intentionally trying to make people feel bad. Not like, hey, correct this behavior, that behavior, because you're being unfair to this person, that person. No, like you're deliberately trying to stir up drama. You're deliberately going and gossiping about people's lives. You're deliberately creating chaos. Or you think it's funny to create problems for other people. That attitude is an indication of a heart that is not aligned with God. You're supposed to help people solve problems, not create problems. You're not trying to create more work for the Messiah. And that is exactly what you're doing when you create chaos. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Like, why do you call him the Messiah if you're not going to listen to him? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my saying and doeth them, I will shew you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built a house and digged deep and laid the foundation on a rock, and upon that house, and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. If Jesus is the cornerstone of your life, the cornerstone of your day, if you're starting your day intentionally with God every day, it doesn't matter who doesn't like it. They're going to come in and try to shake the earth. You're going to be like, Jesus, what is this? And take this garbage away from me, please, because I got stuff I'm trying to do for you, and this is an interference with my praise. And he's going to come in and take away whatever is interfering with his praise. Because if they're focusing their day on being centered in their relationship with them and the communication with them, your disturbances are going to look to God like you're trying to disrupt his praise, like you're trying to come in with your giant energy hand and sweep out his praise, because that's what they're in the middle of doing. And he specifically said, thou shalt not steal. And who are you even stealing from? God, who can see you every moment and know what your intention is in your heart. Not got a very vivid imagination. Maybe you need to use a different kind of analogy for your brain. Like, I can't steal from God. I can't steal, period. I don't want to steal. Stealing is not interesting. I don't need to steal. I earn. So I don't need to steal. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Anybody who knows me in my personal life can roam about and be like, no, she literally, while she works, will watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Or, gardening shows or something. I mean, I'm literally spending no time trying to figure out how to be sneaky. There's no need. I'm not doing anything sneaky. So I don't need to spend any time thinking about it. So it makes it real easy. I get up every morning talking to God. I end every evening talking to God. And I'm talking to God off and on all day long. So it makes it real easy. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth. So that's good. I've spent my life in this industry. Literally. April starts year 27. So yeah. Your house is going to get cracks. It's going to get cracks all up the walls behind you. It's going to create problems. It's going to, unless you've got expansion joints, very heavily moved in there to help, because that's when the house has to move. And there usually are expansion joints in everything we build, because the house, the materials it's made of, it breathes. We describe it that way when we have things that it's a sick house. Sick. How did the house get sick? Didn't have proper circulation. Its lungs weren't moving properly. There were no proper expansion joints put in. If you try to build a house without a proper foundation, expect stress fractures, because that's literally what they're called. Try to live in life without God, expect stress fractures. If you're saying the Our Father every day, he's promising to keep you safe then, right? Because it's part of your morning prayer. From all forms of distress. Can you name a type of stressor that is not a form of distress? Stress is literally in the name. It's just, you can go look up the spelling. Against which the streams did beat vehemently. That's the waves of emotions. And immediately it fell. Because it doesn't have a solid foundation. And the ruin of that house was great. Of course, it would lead to a complete destruction. If things aren't built right from the beginning, they must be completely taken down so the land can be reused. There's no foundation even to build it on. Like even when they were rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem after their Babylonian sacking, they reused a footprint of the building because the stones were still there. They didn't get completely ruined. And they also didn't pay for that themselves. Literally, the Persians confirm independently that they did rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, and they did require taxes from everybody in that general area. So not just Jerusalem, but the general area around that, meaning Moab, meaning all of it, to have taxes pay for the construction of the temple and the sacrifices that go to the Levites. They did not enforce their own religion. Now, that doesn't mean that all the portrayals of Artaxerxes, and his religion were untrue, but there was a name for the particular deity he followed, and that deity was a one-source deity who claimed to be the creator of all people, which I argue is just their word for Yahweh there. Now, I don't know that that's the truth, but I don't know a lot of those tenets. I haven't dug deep into it because we've only covered it surface level in Persian class, but it sounds to me like some Persians heard from some Levites about a coming Messiah and there being a one God who created everyone in existence, and they gave him a Persian name because they do come out in about the 500 BCEs, which is the same time as when the Jewish people were in that diaspora and turned to actually get rid of their local deities, i.e. the archaeology says the Israeli people were guilty of God's accusations of worshiping pantheons. They did have household idols. They did do those things. And it is in Judaism. You can go look up again, Chabad.org or any other, Jewish. You want to go ask your local, rabbi, whoever, go ask them. It is a turning point in the Jewish history. They had to believe God was upset with them for the religion to turn monotheistic. Because in that BC era, everyone had pantheons. Every continent you go on, there was some sort of that worship. Because that is what was the prevailing thing. I preface, because the demons were talking to everybody. They wanted to be gods. They were in rebellion of God. And they were deliberately coming at us. But then, hey, I'm a minister. And it's okay for you not to believe what I believe. It's just the repeating pattern I see. I hope you guys will join me tomorrow, friends, when we will start Luke chapter 7. It is, again, another longer chapter. It goes 49 verses, so we're not trying to do it all in one. It is being broken into 3. I hope you join me then.